Let's return to news back here in Australia, and Sydney and large parts of New South Wales have been placed on alert with potentially destructive weather conditions forecast. Reporter Brent O'Halloran joins us live now. Brent, those of us in the Sydney area could already be forgiven for forgetting it's summer. How much worse can it get?
Yeah, Alex, authorities say that major damage is possible for large parts of the state, including along and particularly along the coast. Now, it's been a very wet, windy day, as you can probably hear here in Sydney. Wind gusts up to 60 kilometres an hour have been registered, and things could get worse. The Bureau of Meteorology has issued several weather warnings, including a severe weather warning for heavy rainfall and damaging winds from Coffs Harbour to Sydney. There's gusts expected between 55 to 100 kilometres an hour. There's also an extreme surf warning for New South Wales and several flood warnings, which the SES is particularly worried about.
At this present moment, the main concern is that people don't follow or that they do follow our safety messaging in staying out of floodwaters. Unfortunately, overnight we had a lot of rain on top of an already wet catchment, and we are seeing some flooding happening. Last night we had 2 flood rescues, and we currently have one going on at this present moment in Bulahdelah, and that they are very, very easy things to avoid by staying out of floodwaters.
Now, we've already seen heavy rainfall on Newcastle and the surrounds and mid-north coast. Some areas received around 100 millimetres of rain over a 24-hour period, inundating many properties. Now, there's been state and federal government assistance announced, grants for locals in particular LGAs of Maitland, Port Stephens and Snowy Valley. So that includes grants for those who've had properties damaged, businesses damaged and lost livestock.
Yeah, it looks like the clear-up operation.
There is a package of support being announced today that will be available for residents in this area. There will be grants for low-income uninsured people who need to replace essential household items. There'll be support to councils for clean-up. There'll be concessional loans under some circumstances for small businesses.
Now, there was a fair bit of wind damage around New South Wales, particularly here in Sydney. Now, a large tree toppled in Hyde Park, injuring 2 people. Power lines fell on buses and train lines, impacting public transport here in Sydney. And even part of the roof of the SCG collapsed during a Big Bash match last night, and a roof was lost in Drummoyne, and part of that obstructed 3 lanes of traffic. Now, the SES has received more than 2,825 calls for assistance over a 24-hour period and also conducted 2 flood rescues. Ausgrid announced that 68,000 customers had their power cut due to the winds yesterday, and 28,000 residents in Sydney, 28,000 Ausgrid customers were still without power in Sydney this morning, 15,000 in Newcastle and Hunter regions. So this weather system, which has already kicked us pretty hard, still has kick left in it yet. Yeah, Alex.
No, absolutely, Brent. I remember I walked to the Sky newsroom this morning and there were fallen trees and branches almost every street I passed. The clear-up operation is going to take a while yet. Really appreciate your reporting and braving the elements, Brent. Appreciate it.